TikTok is like the wild west of content creation. It's a place where expert dancers can show off their true and pure talent. It's a place where musicians can express what they really feel. Why'd you have to do this to me? But it's also a place where everyone has an opinion, and everyone expresses that opinion unfiltered, especially about how to grow and blow up as a musician, even if some of them are yet to show that they can do that themselves. So in today's video, I'm going to react to advice for musicians on TikTok. And here we go.
Here's why your music is not going viral on TikTok. It's not because your music is bad or because people just don't like you. For the most part, the music isn't the problem. The problem is usually that lots of musicians just don't know how to make good TikTok videos.
That is something I actually hear quite a lot. I don't think that's entirely the case. I don't think it's correct to say that your music's definitely good, but your content's not, and that's why you don't grow on these platforms. Because a lot of the time, the music is very average, and it's got nothing new about it that's going to attract a new audience.
Here are a few things that I see artists do wrong all the time when they're making TikTok videos trying to promote their music. Number one is you need to have a really good hook, and lots of artists just completely screw this up when they're making TikTok videos.
Yes, you need a hook for TikTok content, but you aren't selling TikTok content as a musician, you're selling a song. And if your song is unique and really that good, it's going to do well anyway. There are plenty of examples of that. There's Cat Burns, there's Stacey Ryan, there's many TikTokers who have done very well just off songs alone.
First, like 2 seconds of your video needs to absolutely hook the audience. The attention span of the average person scrolling through TikTok is extremely short.
When you're making a regular TikTok video, the best thing to do is grab attention as quickly as you can. Don't waste people's time. Make the video as short as it can be without losing the content. Provide some value and hopefully make it rewatchable. But if you are a musician and you're wanting people to listen to your music, then that's a very different goal. There is absolutely zero point in making a video with a hook in it that's got a tiny part of your song in it if people aren't going to translate and listen to that song because they enjoy the music. So you're trading virality for fans. Would you rather have 100,000 followers who don't care about your music, or would you rather have 5,000 followers who care about your music and will go to Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and follow you as an artist?
Lots of artists will film TikTok videos promoting their music, and they'll get on the camera and they'll just be like, "Hi, my name is Sam. This is a song that I made 6 months ago about a terrible breakup that I had." Like, bro, by the time you finish that sentence, everybody's already scrolled away.
He is right, that is absolutely wasted time, and if you are going to go onto a platform like TikTok, you need to kind of know how people's attention works on that platform. But as I said before, if your music is better than most other artists on TikTok, then it will do well and you will garner the right kind of audience.
Nobody cares what your name is, nobody cares when you made the song, nobody cares why you made the song. People are selfish, bro. Nobody's gonna go listen to your song just to support you.
Yes, people don't go onto TikTok to care about you as a person, and as a content creator, that's the biggest lesson to learn. But the more they relate to you as a content creator or as an artist, the more they will follow you. It's like all of the big artists in the charts. People care about them as people because they aspire to be like them and they like the content that they put out. So therefore, with enough consistent, high quality music put out, I think people will start to care about you as a person and then follow you and listen to your music as a supporter. Yeah, this is kind of another one that's alluding to the same thing, which is that as a musician, you can have the best song in the world, but it's not going to do very well if you don't create good content. It's not an excuse for a bad song. I have never seen anyone on any of these platforms say, you've got an average song and your content creation is really good. They always excuse the music that they're making or the purpose they're trying to have with it and blame it on the content. I also disagree that persistence is enough in its own. You should always be trying to make better content. If something hasn't worked on any platform, it's not because the algorithm hates you or that you haven't persisted long enough, because if something is good and people really like it, then it will do well. It's much more valuable to blame yourself and say, what could I have done better? Because if you are genuinely just trying to get to a mass audience with your music, then something needs to change in order for them to enjoy it, because it's clearly not working.
This is a thing that I don't want to sound offensive, but there's a difference to me now between an artist and a musician.
Wow.
The art of the music industry now is not just music, it is who your public persona is. Be on TikTok, to be on Instagram, to know how to make that content too. And today, it is very difficult to succeed as a musician. You have to be an artist.
I 100% agree, and this is kind of what I'm talking about. There's two parts, and they both play a role in how you get your music out there. You can be an excellent musician, and you can waste people's time on platforms and not do very well. But in the same way, you can be a terrible musician and have really good content. All these platforms do is enable you to get in front of an audience, and all of them work on attention. So you have to work out how you can put your music in front of people in a way that grabs attention. But the music has to be good in the first place, and it has to be better than most of the musicians, because it is quite a saturated market.
You have to be the whole package. But if you're a band that sounds like all the bands that came before you, it's probably going to be harder for you. You have to have something unique to bring to the table, and that's what we see with most of our artists that are successful.
Precisely that. If your music is the same as everything else and very average, then it's probably not going to do well no matter how good your content creation is. And this is where a lot of musicians fall on content creation platforms.
In a new way, they're saying something in a unique way, they're connecting with their fans, they know how to interact with their fans. Some people don't want to do that. They just want to write the music. And This is not really anymore the industry for them.
Yeah, it's super difficult. The industry has changed a lot, and now that these platforms are here where you can get in front of a mass audience, as a musician you kind of need to be able to do that as part of your job. And the idea is that you have to get better at both. You have to be able to analyse your content and say, why is that not working? And analyse your music and say, why is that not working? And yes, there are musicians, including myself, who create music for themselves, but they tend not to be the ones that are complaining that their music isn't getting out to a bigger audience.
That's another problem with society, right? Society wants to hold the key to your confidence in their pocket. They want to say, oh, you know what? I know you feel like you should feel good about yourself and you should feel like you're a king and you're confident, but relax, we'll let you know when.
That is just not true. Society doesn't care about you. People aren't interested in your music because they aren't interested in your music. And I think it's a very bold claim to state that society is against you because they don't like what you've produced. It's very hard as a creative to not take things personally when you put your emotions into a piece of art. But as soon as that artwork is finished, you've got to be objective about it and see if the audience actually like it, and if they don't, why not? Because there is one thing that I guarantee, and that is that it's not because they care about you as a person, it's because they care about them as a person and what they enjoy.
Okay, here's what you need to understand as a musician. You're low-key technically already a content creator. By that, I mean that your music is content in and of itself.
Yeah, and I don't think people value that point enough. Music is content in the same way a TikTok is content, a YouTube video is content, and you are trying to appeal to an audience in the same way that as content you are trying to appeal to an audience.
But music is not a need, meaning that you have to make them want to go see it. Hence, the content you create around the music.
Yeah, the music is the ultimate content, and the content creation around your music is what is going to bring in the audience to that music.
The 6 worst pieces.
When I was at music college, this guy used to show up on Facebook all the time with advice.
Number 3, it's all about the music. Classic bad advice. It's all about the music. Except, what if your music is not getting heard? Yeah, there's a problem, isn't it? I made the music's amazing, no one's listening to the music, in which case that's horrible advice. Music is absolutely the heartbeat of everything that you do, but only a fool would think that that is the be-all and end-all.
Exactly, and that's what I'm trying to get to. There are two parts to the same equation. You have the music part of it, which is what you're trying to direct people to, and there is the content part of it. And you can't have one without the other. Yes, the music is the most important part. You can't do anything without good music. But you've also got to cater that to the platforms and how they work in order to get seen.
Sounds to me like a surefire way to get ripped off by a label. It's just about the music, don't you know? The label's going to be thinking, absolutely, it's all about the music, as they claw and rake in all of the money off your brand.
Yeah, and this is why labels are kind of obsolete now. Because if you are very good at content creation and you know how these platforms work, then you can gain your own audience and get your own reach without needing a record label to no longer have the same reach that these platforms do. If you are wanting to try and get in front of a bigger audience, you kind of just need to remove your ego from the situation. Your music is art, and you should be able to create that in a way that you want to create it. But there is a bit of a balance there between creating it for yourself and creating it for an audience. And if you want to create it to get to a bigger audience, then the music has to be objectively better than most of the other music that's out there, and it can't just be the same regurgitated songs that everyone else is doing. But on the other side of the coin, you need to also understand how these platforms work in order to get that music in front of people. And content creation is a skill, in the same way that music is a skill. Another skill is perfect pitch, and in this video I tried to learn perfect pitch. So if you're interested in that, head on through and I will see you there.